All right, so you want to know about what story?
Fiery furnace.
The fiery furnace with...
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Okay, so there's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and when they were young boys, they were with Daniel, huh?
Yeah.
And they got taken away from their parents, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they had enough foundation in knowing God that they continued to serve God even after they were away from their parents, huh?
Oh.
Yeah. And so the fiery furnace was what they... Nebuchadnezzar, or we call him King Nebi, huh?
Yeah.
King Nebi. What a funny name. So King Nebi had built a what?
Statue.
Of what?
Of the bound sandstone.
Of himself.
Yeah.
And he said, you need to what?
Bow down and worship the statue.
That's right. And if they didn't, what happened?
They fall into the fiery furnace.
They got thrown into the fiery furnace. Okay. And so there was one day and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were out there, and here came the king's men, and they blew the trumpet, and they said, when we blow the trumpet, what's going to happen?
We have to bow down to the bit.
So they took their trumpet and they go, and did they bow down? They didn't. And did people see him?
Yeah.
And they ran to King Nebi and said what?
Said, we didn't bow down.
That's right. And so King Nebuchadnezzar, he got really mad and he said, bring me Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they came before him. And he said, I'll give you one more chance to bow down to my statue. And what did they say? Do you remember?
No.
You don't remember what they said?
No.
Well, here's what they said. They said, King Nebi, we'll respect you, but we cannot bow down to your statue. Because your statue is not our God. We have our own God, and he's great. And King Nebi goes, and he became enraged. And he said, no God can save you from me. They said, King Nebi, we cannot bow down to your statue, and we won't. And God will save us from the fiery furnace, but even if he doesn't, we still choose not to bow down. And then what happened?
They got thrown into the fiery furnace.
They did. They got thrown in the fiery furnace. And then what happened?
God showed up.
God showed up where?
In the fiery furnace.
With who?
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, and what did King Nebi do?
He worked in the fiery furnace and he saw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and he saw Jesus in there.
It was Jesus?
Yep. 3 men were there.
And there was 3, but then 4 appeared. And King Nebi said, come out of there. So they came out. And he said, wow, I make a decree that we need to all respect the God
4.
of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and Jesus.
Amen. Can you give a big smile?
Yeah.